Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. One important thing that I've learned over the years in cooking is the significance of texture in determining the quality of the dish. It turned out that stir frying is one of the best ways to control the texture of each ingredient in the dish. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to cook a dish that has chicken, beef, as well as vegetables, and how I cook them in such a way that each one of the ingredients are in their perfect texture, at least to me. Okay, let's go into the kitchen, see what we can do. I'm going to cook the chicken first. I cook them separately because this way will allow me have much better control of the texture of the chicken. I'm using my basic chicken stir fry template, so this way I don't need a recipe. However, I'm using several modifications to this template. The first modification is that I coated the chicken quite heavily with cornstarch. I want to create a light breading on the chicken. This will allow me to preserve both the moisture as well as the tenderness of the chicken. The second modification is that I use a minimum amount of cooking oil. By using a small amount of cooking oil, this will allow me to char the chicken. As you can see here, the chicken has absorbed most of the oil, and you do not see too much oil left on the surface of the wok. At this point, I am not stir frying the chicken. In fact, what I cook the chicken is using a method known as pan frying. You can see when I turn the chicken around, because the scarcity of cooking oil, the surface of the chicken has now been charred. My cousin Marge taught me this method. She told me that if you control the turning of the chicken regularly, you will just char it enough to give almost a barbecue-like texture and flavor. So for the next step, I get out my wok spatula, which are more efficient now to break the chicken up into smaller pieces as they were originally cut. I add some cooking oil at this point to prevent the chicken from burning any further, and by stirring it, it makes it cook faster as well. I'm very grateful that Marge showed me this method because when I taste the chicken, I can really taste that nice flavor, almost that it has been grilled. Okay, now I set the chicken aside, and next I'm going to cook the beef. The cuts of beef that I use here is the flank steak. This is the same cut that I frequently use in fajita. It is a lean cut of beef in comparison to other cuts such as ribeye or strip. When you slice them thinly, they cook rapidly, and it is great for stir fry. I cut them into bite sizes, and then I coat them with cornstarch. I use my pair of tongs to break the beef apart because the cornstarch tend to cause them to stick together. This beef cooks very quickly, and I will need to pay full attention in what I'm doing. I would like to cook the beef to the texture of a little bit over medium rare. Once I reach that stage, I will remove the wok from the stove, and the remaining heat in the wok will bring the final texture of the meat to about medium. I almost reached that point by now, so I'm going to shut off the heat and remove the wok from the stove. I put the wok on the kitchen counter. I'm going to season it with a touch of oyster sauce. This is an important lesson for me because I used to season the beef as I cook. Then it results that I end up overcooking the beef. So next is that I'm going to again set the beef aside. I will be ready now to cook the final step of this dish, which are the vegetables. Cooking the chicken and the beef separately is really important because ultimately the texture of the dish depends on each individual ingredients. I'm now going to cook the vegetables. I put some more oil in the wok. I decided not to wash the wok, but that turned out to be a mistake. I should have washed the wok and dried it properly before I cooked the vegetable, because as you can see that as the oil heated up, it starts to splatter because of the sauce in the wok. So that I have to add quickly by adding first black bean to the wok. This calms things down a little bit, but the next thing to do is to add carrot, and this will definitely dampen the splattering. At this point, I would like to just mention a little bit about frying the black bean. If you fry the black bean like this, it will allow the black bean to contain its flavor within the bean. If not, the flavor of the black bean will spread more over the entire dish. Personally, I like it this way because sometimes this flavor of black bean is too strong for me, but it is perfect for my wife. For this dish, the vegetable I'm going to use is some green beans. Now this green bean has been prepped about a week ago, and they are still in really good shape. So it is important that for you to prep them after you take them back from the supermarket and put them into plastic container. This will increase their shelf life significantly. Again, I learned from my cousin Marge that when you stir fry vegetable, you can divide the stir frying process into two stages. The first stage is that the vegetable is coated with oil, and the temperature of the oil will be between 300 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It is during this temperature, a chemical reaction known as Maillard reaction takes place on the surface of the food ingredient, and this leads to the generation of flavor molecules. The oil will also help to cook the green bean. But as the cooking progresses, the oil will be absorbed by the vegetables, and the green bean will become directly exposed to the heat of the surface of the wok, and it starts to burn. And it is when this burning it generates charring and provides a great flavor. Next, I'm going to season the dish. I'm going to season the dish using a method which I call it improvisational seasoning. I do not measure my ingredients that I add to the dish. I'm going to use free seasoning. I'm using hoisin sauce, oyster sauce, light soy sauce, and dark soy sauce. I add them in the amount that, based on my past experience, that is going to work. And at this case, it is also very important that you store your seasoning in squeeze bottles, so you can make adjustment very rapidly. However, there comes a time when I want to create a sauce more deliberately, then I will measure them out in advance. Most of the time I use this method because it is more spontaneous and faster. And since I want this sauce to be lighter, I'm going to add some water because I want to create a sauce to go over the noodles. I often use this seasoning method when I want to cook something quickly. I did a taste test, and next I decided I would like to add a little bit sugar to the dish. I'm a type of cook that I constantly taste the dish as I cook and make adjustment accordingly. And now the dish is ready. I turn off the heat. I'm going to first add the beef, and then I followed it by add the chicken. I'm also going to add some green pepper that I have found in the refrigerator, and as well as some orange pepper. Now I add the pepper at the end because I do not want to cook the pepper too much. I make the final adjustment to the thickness of the sauce by adding some additional water. Now the dish is done. I used to cook this dish by cooking everything together from beginning to end. And when I taste how much cook this dish, I realized the merit of cooking each ingredient separately. I then transferred the ingredients to some pan-fried noodles. I have a video which I posted earlier on how to create pan-fried noodle using angel hair spaghetti noodles. You can take a look at that video. This dish goes excellent with pan-fried noodle, with the sauce softening the noodle to create excellent texture and provide a wonderful culinary experience. If you have never tried pan-fried noodles before, you definitely should give this dish a try. You will find it delightful. This dish, without any question, is one of my wife's all-time favorite. It is the texture of the pan-fried noodle that makes the difference, and I think you will find this dish to be wonderful as well. To me, one of the best things about stir fry is its simplicity. But despite its simplicity, it allows you to control how you cook different ingredients. As shown in this demonstration, I cook the chicken and the beef and the vegetable all separately, so I can control the texture of each one of them. I never see this possibility until I saw what Marge was doing in her cooking. I really appreciate that she showed me the differences in cooking them separately in creating the kind of texture that you want. At the end, this approach is definitely better because now you can taste each ingredient, and it is the texture of these ingredients that make the dish outstanding. Again, by using templates-based cooking, it is possible for you to only learn the individual templates, and you can combine them. And it is this possibility of mixing different templates together will give you the kind of diversity that you will be looking for in your dishes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time.